My story begins in a small rural Alabama town called Burnt Corn, where my maternal family is from. As you can imagine, there's no hospital in Burnt Corn, so I share a birthplace with famed writer Harper Lee of To Kill a Mockingbird fame. I was born in Monroeville, Alabama. As a baby, I moved to New Jersey, where I was raised, educated, and nurtured to be the woman that I am today by my parents, Pastors Bruce and Phyllis Williams, along with my 4 brothers, Bruce Jr., Jeff, Mike, and Tim. I attended college and graduate school, obtaining a master's at Rutgers University and moving to Boston to obtain my law degree at Northeastern University. From humble beginnings in Burnt Corn, Alabama, to the White House, the United States Capitol, the Governor's Mansion, and the State House, where I advise leaders in the highest echelons of our government, to the halls of justice, where I presided as a judge for 6 years, one of the youngest judges appointed in my state, and the first African American appointed from my county. This is my journey. My journey has led me into classrooms where I've molded the minds of aspiring lawyers and leaders in government. My journey continues through the pulpit of the Upper Room Full Gospel Church, to women's shelters, to teenage pregnancy centers in Africa, to the homes of women in Central America. As a law professor, minister, former judge, and founder of a global women's empowerment movement called the Esther Project, my story is that I am empowering women to empower the world. As the daughter of 2 pastors, I saw a life dedicated to service to God and humanity modeled before me, and it was instilled in me at a young age that God has a purpose for my life. My journey has taught me that my purpose is to encourage others to discover and fulfill their life purpose. In my work with the Esther Project, I take women on a journey to discover their inner queen of purpose and use my own life and professional experiences to show them how to launch their purpose and change the world. I believe that when we empower women, we empower those around them. Through my journey, I was motivated to author a book entitled The Esther Project, Every Woman's Guide to Living with Passion and Purpose. In the book, I share my story and the story of Queen Esther from the Bible. Esther's story is that she overcame humble beginnings like me and the personal adversity of losing her parents at a young age to become the most powerful woman in the nation, a queen, even as a minority woman in her culture because she was Jewish but living in Persia. And as a queen, she used her power, which was her voice, to influence the king and prevent a genocide that had been ordered against her community. Deciding to use her voice was not easy for Esther. She risked her life but stepped up to the challenge that perhaps she'd been made queen for such a time as this. It was her moment for which life had prepared her. I use Esther's story as a motivator for women to discover their purpose because Esther's story is every woman's story. I found my story in Esther's story. There's an Esther inside of each of us waiting to be revealed. We were created for this very hour, to use our gifts to influence today's issues. My passion is teaching younger women how to step into their purpose and become visionary leaders. I'm deeply disturbed at the images of women portrayed on television, particularly stereotypical portrayals of Black women, and I reject images on TV of women as catty, competitive, superficial, insecure, or desperate for attention, or over-sexualized or immodest in attire, or super glammed up 24/7. I want to model for the younger generation of girls a different role model of a truly powerful woman who is confident, intelligent, compassionate, and puts God first. A true queen who uses her influence to rescue others in crisis and improve the conditions of the world. I want to help girls step into their rightful place as future global leaders by exposing them to the community of Esther women in the world. I know that the Lord has called me on a great missionary journey like the Apostle Paul to spread his love throughout the world. I know that I was created as the woman to give voice to the voiceless women and girls throughout the world whose stories are yet to be told, whose destinies are yet to be penned. I know, like Esther, that I was made queen of my purpose for such a time as this. And that's why my story is a story of gratitude to God for all the things that He has done. My name is Reverend Tiffany Williams, and this is my story.